Something big has just landed on Keir Starmer's desk, and it's the kind of news that no party leader ever wants to hear. After months of political scandals, growing unrest inside his party, and a public that seems increasingly fed up, the latest development has completely upended the narrative. What was once seen as impossible is now staring Labour right in the face. And for Starmer, it could be the beginning of his worst nightmare. Let's break it down. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Keir Starmer's Labour Party has just been hit with the kind of political earthquake that sends shockwaves through Westminster and beyond. For months, Labour insiders have been telling the press that Reform UK was nothing more than a protest vote, a flash in the pan that would fade when a general election drew closer. But now, the numbers say otherwise. And for Starmer, this is a nightmare scenario coming true. According to brand new polling from Find Out Now UK, taken between the 17th and 18th of September, Nigel Farage's Reform UK has surged to the very top of the table with 34% support nationwide. That isn't just a boost, it's historic. It puts Reform out in front by a massive margin, while both Labour and the Conservatives are languishing in joint second place on just 16% each. The Liberal Democrats are in fourth with 13%, followed closely by the Greens on 12%. Now, on the surface, that might just look like numbers on a chart. But once you run those figures through the electoral calculus prediction model, the impact becomes crystal clear and devastating for Labour. Those results would give Reform UK a commanding majority of 264 seats in Parliament. Just think about that for a moment. Nigel Farage, not Keir Starmer, not Rishi Sunak, but Nigel Farage, walking into number 10 Downing Street with one of the largest mandates in modern British history. And here's where it gets even more humiliating for Labour. Under this scenario, the Liberal Democrats would actually become the official opposition with 52 seats. Labour would slump to a humiliating third place with just 44 seats, a party supposedly on the brink of power reduced to little more than a minor player in British politics. That would be one of the most catastrophic collapses of a major party we've ever seen. It doesn't stop there. The projection shows that a number of high-profile political heavyweights would lose their seats to Reform's so-called People's Army. Among those names, the current Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood, the Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch, and Labour's Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick. These aren't fringe backbenchers. These are the supposed future leaders of Britain, wiped off the map in one fell swoop. Ashfield MP Lee Anderson, himself a former Tory who defected to Reform, summed it up bluntly. He said, "No seat is safe from the People's Army. Reform UK are coming for the two main parties, and right now the numbers back him up." For Keir Starmer, this is a nightmare on multiple levels. First, because it blows up his carefully crafted narrative that Labour is the only alternative to the Conservatives. Second, because it exposes how out of touch the party has become with the very voters they once relied on, working class communities across the country who feel abandoned, ignored, and betrayed. And third, because if these numbers hold anywhere close to reality in a general election, Labour's dream of government could be over before it even begins. Now, of course, a poll is just a snapshot, not a final result. But what makes this poll so significant is the timing. It comes after months of scandal, sackings, and public mistrust swirling around Labour's leadership. And rather than capitalising on Conservative weakness, Labour appears to be sinking alongside them, while Reform is surging ahead as the real voice of opposition. The political establishment will try to dismiss this, to brush it off as unrealistic. But the truth is, momentum matters, perception matters. And right now, the perception is clear. Nigel Farage and Reform UK are on the march, while Keir Starmer's Labour Party is collapsing in real time. If this trajectory continues, we could be looking at the biggest political realignment in Britain since World War II. One that rips up the old two-party system and replaces it with something entirely new. And for Keir Starmer, the man who thought he was just months away from entering number 10, this could be the end of his ambitions. His nightmare has come true, and it's only just beginning. In other news, Reform UK leader Nigel Farage has said US President Donald Trump knows he will be the next Prime Minister. The president's team noticed parallels between Britain's poll-topping party and the current White House administration, Mr. Farage said. According to a poll carried out by The Telegraph, Reform UK would win a majority in the House of Commons if a general election were held today with 331 seats. At the same time, Sir Keir Starmer's favourability plunged to record lows this week as a fresh YouGov poll found just 21% of participants held a favourable opinion of the Prime Minister. Speaking to the Harry Cole Saves the West channel on YouTube, Mr. Farage said, "We should view ourselves as being incredibly lucky that we have an American president with such a deep, emotional soft spot for the United Kingdom." When he was asked about electoral prospects in Britain, he said, "Sure, Keir can beat my friend Nigel as long as he's tough on borders, tough on law and order, and drills lots of oil and gas in the North Sea." After Mr. Cole asked the Reform UK leader whether Mr. Trump sees him as Britain's next Prime Minister, he said he knows that. All the American administration are acutely aware of it. They think they see some similarities in what they've done and what we've done. And you know what? We speak the same language. Mr. Farage has enjoyed an almost decade-long friendship with the president after the pair met in the wake of the historic 2016 Brexit referendum as Mr. Trump was campaigning for the presidency. When the Reform UK leader celebrated his 60th birthday last year, Mr. Trump said, "You look great, Nigel, I tell you. I was just with you, and you look great. You have truly been a pivotal voice all over the world in the United Kingdom and beyond, and everyone's lucky to have you." Despite the duo not meeting during Mr. Trump's second state visit, Mr. Farage spoke with him in Washington, D.C. just weeks ago. The meeting in the Oval Office came after the Reform UK leader gave evidence to a congressional committee surrounding freedom of speech, where he told American lawmakers that Britain had become North Korea. Mr. Farage told Talk TV that despite being snubbed an invitation to Wednesday's state banquet, he did speak to Marco Rubio, and I did last night speak to Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. He added, "These guys have got big plans. We're going to hear about big investments in Britain for Microsoft. We're going to hear about nuclear deals, all of which is good. But it does make me wonder, why are we ourselves not pushing our own nuclear industry?" During a press conference at Chequers on the final day of the state visit, Mr. Trump hailed the bond between the US and Britain as being like no other anywhere in the world. He said, "The United States and the United Kingdom have done more good on this planet than any two nations in human history. This is thanks in large part to the traditions of British liberty, which grew up on these isles, these beautiful, magnificent isles, and were carried by our ancestors to the New World. We're forever joined, and we are forever friends, and we will always be friends." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.